Hey, how you doing? My name is Alan Sosa. I'm currently on tour with Marty Friedman as his guitar tech. So I guess we're gonna see the amps first. On this tour we have his signature angle amp, and we have just as a backup a retro, but simple amps, just 2 channels. It's clean distortion. It has a gain boost. It only works on the main on the distortion channel. Sorry. It's pretty basic, just separate EQ, separate gains. It has one master volume here, and it has one master volume in the back that is foot switchable. It has a built-in noise gate. So basically, through the foot switch, you can change the channels. You can turn on and off the noise gate, the effects loop, switch masters. That's about it. Everybody always asks me what are the settings, and that basically it changes in every room. There's no secret recipe. Basically, like, we're always looking to have like a big bottom end. Like it doesn't. He's like 90% of the show. He's playing leads, so we wanted to have we don't want it to sound thin at all. So like as you can see today, like treble is a little down. We have some bass, some middle, so it cuts through the mix. But again, there's no secret recipe. It changes every show. He uses a lot of gain, obviously, and we also have a tube screamer sometimes. If he needs a little extra gain too, we usually use the tube screamer on the rhythm parts, and then we use the gain boost of the amp for leads instead of the tube screamer. This cab, he doesn't have a preference. It's basically whatever what's available from angle at the time. This case is B30s, that always works. It's pretty simple. Okay, so here's Marty's board. I did for this tour. I do all the switching for him, so I asked Boss to give us this Boss ES8, which is pretty convenient. So like all the pedals I run through separate loops within the ES8, and this gives me the ability of making presets of different pedals. They're always on, and I can change the order of them, which is pretty cool. Like sometimes I might have to switch like the smart gate. I might want to put it in the fixed loop if it gets too noisy on the venue. Like sometimes I like the chorus maybe for the clean I might run it in the front, and maybe on a distorted sound I might put it on the fixed loop. And sometimes I just mess up and I want to fix it with the order, so I might just switch. Like in this case, for example, I put the tube screamer before the MXR phaser, which I didn't think about it at the moment, so I just switched the order because I rather have the phaser before the overdrive, and that seems to work fine. First we have a compressor. The first guitar tech, Willie G, who did the first tour, came up with this one. It worked well in parallel with the Maxon, which is this is pretty much the one pedal Marty needs to have. He will always ask for this. All the settings are all the way down, as you can see. It's basically like an auto filter, but it's set so it's very subtle. You can almost not hear it. But having the compressor in the front makes it be even more subtle. It doesn't react that much to the dynamics of the guitar. So then I have a chorus, that I use mostly for cleans, and I only use it on one part with a distorted sound during the show that I want to have like a heavy chorus, but it's just like one time during the show, like 20 seconds. Then, as you mentioned before, the tube screamer I use for the rhythms, like to tighten it up a little. So a smart gate, to keep the rhythms tight, or whenever I know there's gonna be a big stop, I might hit it just in case. Phaser, again, Willie G, also first tech, he threw the idea out about using this one for a couple of songs, and he ended up liking them. So I only use it for like two songs on 2 little parts. Again, some delay, no secret. What I do with this one is some parts when he's like holding like long bendings for like 30 seconds, I hit like a long delay preset, and then I go to like a regular, like shorter delay for regular leads. And on the presets I have on this ES8, so I have the rhythm, which is with this ES8 has some control outputs that I hook up to the angle head, and I use as a foot switch. So with this I can control the channel on the amp, I can control the masters, the tone boost, I mean the gain boost, sorry. So yeah, what I do with this is on the rhythm preset, I have the noise gate on and the tube screamer on, and I have the master A on that amp. And then on the lead, pretty much on every other preset is a lead preset. So I have the master B, which is in the back of the angle. It's a little louder. So on the lead I don't have any noise gate. I switch the gain boost on the amp on. I have some delay on. Then this is the same, but I have I don't turn on the gain boost on the amp, but I have the compressor with the max on. You know, that gives me some extra gain with the compressor. Then I have a preset with the chorus, which is again a lead with the delay and just some chorus. Another one with a phaser, and the clean is compressor, chorus, and delay. And that's pretty much it. I have these two available. The whole board is mounted on the pedal train. They've been supporting us too, so thanks to them very much. So for guitars on this tour, the main one has been this one, which is it's basically his signature model, just with a custom finish. He's a big fan of Kiss, so it's pretty much a tribute to Paul Stanley, I guess. It's like cracked purple mirror. It has its signature EMGs, they're passive. You know, just like regular bridge. Have locking tuners, you can tell. It's a 24 and 3/4 scale, 12-inch radius. What else? This typical for knob configuration, you know, 2 volume, 2 tone, 3-way selector. We're using Diadario 10 to 46 NYXL strings. That's about it for this guitar, I guess. We also have this one, which is again like a different finish, but it's basically his signature too, with a third pickup in the middle. It's kind of like Ace Frehley style. 2 volume, 2 tone, and a blend knob that right now I have taped, so he hasn't used it during the show. Same thing, you know, same specs. Locking tuners. Then we have Jackson made it for him, you know, for the old times. Nice Kelly. These are some battle scars, you know, it's been through like 5 tours already. Not sure what, I think this was like a prototype before he came up with a signature, so these are like active EMGs. I'm not sure which ones they are. Not just like 1 volume, 1 selector, regular tuners. So pretty much it's all standard, except on this show we only have 1 song on drop D. So we usually just switch every like 3-4 songs just to give a chance to tune, but most times they're like pretty much dead on in tune. This was one of the prototypes. The final version, it has the 4 knobs as you saw before. So this was used on the first tour. We are using this one currently for the drop D tuning, as you can see. He uses this on Elixir and Devil Take Tomorrow, which is standard tuning, but I don't think he plays a 6 string at all on that song. So yeah, it's just a prototype, you know. Active pickups too. These are not the final signature ones, but they work so far. So picks he uses like standard Jim Dunlop. They're not very. I would say they're like somewhere around like 0.70, somewhere around that. Just Dunlop. Cables. We've been using. Well, right now I'm using a Shure wireless, as you could see earlier. That's mine personal. I just put it there so I don't have to deal with cables. But I'm using a Diadario Snake. I can show you. It's been working fine. You know, gives me like I have like eight cables in that Snake, and I'm using like 4 or 5 depending what I need to switch from the amp. It has some TRS, so and I still have a couple of spare cables if anything goes bad. So that's been working fine. I checked them, like I did an A/B test with like other brands of cables, and I didn't hear any difference. I think they're pretty good, and they've been working fine so far. So regarding monitoring on stage, he's old school. Like actually, we're gonna strike those wedges. So he just relies on like having loud amp and hearing himself loud on the PA. Basically, like he doesn't like hearing the sound of the mic'd cabinet through a wedge during the show. thank you so much, guys, from Gear Masters. Come check out Marty's gear. Please come check us out. We're still on tour. We have another 2 weeks left on this North American tour of the live album Bad M.F.